In this company, every employee earns an annual salary of millions. However, their daily work surprisingly involves just drawing circles on paper non-stop. One day, 3 job applicants came for an interview. The interviewer asked them, which came first, the chicken or the egg? The first applicant laughed and said, definitely the egg, because chickens hatch from eggs. The second person argued, it should be the chicken before the egg, because without a chicken, where would the egg come from? However, their answers were not what the interviewer wanted. When asked, the third applicant, a young woman, looked at the interviewer in confusion and said, if we can't determine the conclusion, why should we even study it? Her answer stunned all the interviewers present, as they were looking for exactly this kind of employee. The next day, the woman was supposed to work on the 23rd floor. However, when she entered the elevator, she couldn't find the button for the 23rd floor. The company's employees told her that to reach the 23rd floor, she could only take the stairs. The woman said, then I'll take the elevator to the 22nd floor and walk up the stairs from there. But the supervisor said it was against company rules, and she had to start from the first floor. For the $1 million annual salary, the woman had no choice but to start walking from the first floor. She knew this might be the company's way of deliberately training them and decided to face it optimistically. Although tired, she persisted and made it to the top. However, she was shocked by the scene before her eyes when she opened the door. A winding white line was drawn on the floor, and the large office had only a few desks. The confused woman stood still, not knowing what to do. At this moment, her colleagues called her over. After walking a few steps, she was loudly stopped by her colleagues. It turned out they wanted her to walk along the white line. Although puzzled, it was her first day at work, so she had to follow their requirements. As soon as she sat down, the team leader handed her 10 blank sheets of paper and asked her to fill them with neatly arranged circles. The woman thought she had misheard, but the team leader told her again that this was her work for the day. After finishing, she had to submit them to the supervisor for inspection. The woman worked like this until 12 noon lunchtime. She asked the team leader about lunch arrangements, but he ignored her. Then she heard a door open, and a woman walked in, pushing a lunch cart along the white line. She served each person a bowl of black noodles. While they all ate with relish, the woman had no appetite. Curious, she asked them if what she had just done counted as work. Her colleagues said it was indeed work. The woman asked why they had to take the stairs when there was an elevator. Her colleagues said they didn't know either. At this point, the supervisor finally couldn't stand it and directly asked, in your new employee's eyes, what is the reason? The woman could only give an embarrassed smile. Every day after that, the woman's work involved walking from the first floor to the 23rd floor, following the white line, drawing circles, triangles, or squares, having them inspected, erasing them, and then drawing lines again. She repeated the same things every day. One day, the woman made a mistake in her work. The supervisor found that her circles had a gap and were not drawn in one stroke. The woman explained that the pen had suddenly run out of ink halfway through, so she had to use a new pen to continue. This made the supervisor very angry, claiming that the woman's mistake had led to a decrease in overall performance. He angrily threw the paper at the woman and told her to redraw it. Back at her desk, the team leader noticed her low mood and passed her a note, asking her to meet in the stairwell. He comforted her, saying that at work, they only needed to be responsible for collecting their salaries. As for the meaning of work, they didn't need to think too much about it. They just had to do as the leader said.